Hey guys, guess what? Um, I just finished my comic. Panootle is my comic of 3 to 4-ish years. I'm not really sure. And finally, I've finished the whole thing. It's just a comic about a little dude and his adventures um in this big wide world. He makes friends along the way, uh, and there's a little bit of action. There's a little bit of silliness. It's really, it's just kind of like a fun comic. The comic is out in stores actually. You can buy zines 1 to 10, all from the Sticky Institute in Melbourne, just next to Flinders, which is pretty cool. Panootle started as just like a little doodle character in the margins of my workbooks at school, um, and I couldn't find the original. I looked around for a while, but it's gone missing, as things do. So I don't have that. I do, however, have this French book from year 8, with a little Panootle and a little Patootle in the margins. And this is much the way that I would typically draw Panootle, just kind of drawing the lines around the holes in the sketchbooks. That's how I got the idea for his unique shape. And once I had made Panootle, I really started enjoying the character. So this is my sketchbook from 2017. It's got some stuff in it, and I would just kind of draw him in the margins, much as I would draw him in my workbooks. There's Panootle and Patootle. I created a character called Bouncy Man doing Owly Comics, who later appeared in the comics. This is Bouncy Man, and this is Pickle Man, who later appeared in Panootle episode 5. He's bouncing, and then he bounces off a cliff, and then bounces off a cliff, but he's not actually Bouncy Man, as he thought he was. Just trials and tribulations of a modern era. Panootle and Patootle. There's Panootle kicking Patootle, Panootle eating Patootle, Panootle balancing Patootle, Panootle and Patootle riding on a fish, Panootle shaking Patootle, Panootle wrong, Panootle inviting, and Panootle hitting Patootle with a hammer. I think that's it for this book. Panootle was mostly just my kind of creative output. When I was tired, I would just like kind of sit down and draw little Panootle comics. Here's a baby that was in Panootle. Here's a rhombus. Here's the first instance of rhombus. These are slugs being killed. This was just a little comic, a little book that I kept for a while. Just kind of had a lot of my work in it. Panootle brushing his teeth. Panootle having a bath, shaving. It's Panootle surfing. There's a developing Pickle Man. That's Panootle getting his brains shot out. I really did have an edgy face, huh? I used to draw little sketches for the final comics. Anyway. This is the big Panootle folder. I lost Panootle Part 1, which is a bit sad, but I have Panootle Part 2. I actually have them all. Panootle Part 2, where he lands. It all gets written in this big A4 kind of document way. Panootle was originally written to be a webtoon. I don't know if you remember Webtoon, but it was just a comic sharing app, and you could do long comic pages. So I tried to do a few of those, and I wasn't very successful. But there you go. Part 1, in which Panootle leaves home. Part 2, in which Panootle makes a friend. In which they venture towards the city. In which journey begins. in which they delve deeper. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty chuffed about having Panootle out. As I said, it's available at the Sticky Institute. They're $1 each, so that's $10 for the entire thing, which I think is a pretty good deal. So check out my website, wooblefloopstudios.com, where you can read pretty much every comic I've ever written, and kind of get a little bit more insight into other stuff that I've done, including Panootle. That's about all.